Good morning. It is Thursday, July 18th, and I'm just out here today to check on mating success for my hives. I haven't checked them all yet. I've checked a few of them, checked some of them last time, and I'm just trying to get a count of how many successfully mated and how many didn't, and it's probably all I'm really going to do today is just check and see if I've got mated queens. I'm probably going to do a couple of mite checks while I'm at it, just to see where my mite counts are at the moment. I think they'll be pretty low, but you never know. It's probably all I'm doing today. It's not going to be super interesting. Probably not a lot to see. Just open the hive, get down to where the queen should be, make sure she's there. If not, then I'll note that and figure out how many were able to successfully get a mated queen going, and then I'll have to make a plan for those that didn't. And that's why I made as many nooks as I did, and I'll just take those nooks most likely and drop them back into these production sites and get my production colony count back to where I want it. And then everything else eventually will end up back in my home yard. Hopefully get them overwintered. Some of these small nooks that I made, if they're doing well, I'm going to make sure they've got enough feed on them and probably give them a little bit of food, not tons. Depends on where they're at. If they're hungry, then I'm going to feed them. They've got to build up for winter, so time to get them going. And I don't want them to stagnate, but they should have queens now, and hopefully everything's looking good. All right, let's get into hive number one. This is a hive from the second round of queen cells I did. Let's see what I've got here. Oh, these seem a little bit noisy, so I don't hear a low content hum in the hive, so I'm kind of thinking we don't have a queen. It is a little bit early in the morning. Bees aren't quite up and flying yet, so hopefully that's all that. I'm really thinking we don't have a queen here. Just the way they're acting, the way they're fanning, and I don't think they've got a queen. So, nectar on the outsides. Alright, you're gonna have to go down a box. Didn't want to do that, but they seem agitated, antsy on the comb, just running around. I really don't think we have a queen here. Oh, I do have a queen. She's right here. She's running around. I don't know that she started laying eggs yet, though. I haven't seen any eggs. She's plenty big. There she goes. Let's see if we can set this down without smashing a whole bunch of bees. That wasn't too bad. Let's check this little nook here and see what we've got. This was a round 2 queen, hopefully. Not much activity on this one. Still got bees. Clusters right there. Nothing there though. They've got a little bit of fresh nectar. Tiny bits of pollen so far. Oh, there's my queen. She's not very big yet, but she is starting to lay. I can see a couple of eggs down in here, but here she is. So let's go ahead and get her marked. All right, I'll put this back in for now. I'm not seeing a ton of pollen in this hive, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a pollen patty. I do see some incoming nectar, and they've got plenty of honey from when I made the nook still, so. All right, let's release that queen. No. Gotta get back. There she goes. So I think they could use a little bit of fresh syrup. I don't have any with me, but I do have some pollen patty. So I'm not giving them a ton of pollen patty, just maybe like a third. Just something for them to kind of chew on a little bit. And then I may come back and give them a little bit of syrup. Going down this row, according to my records, these first 6, those 3, and these 3 all have queens. Now let's look at, let me think here. And this one has a queen, and that one has a queen, and that one has a queen. Huh. So according to my records, all 3 of these have queens. Looks like it's these 2 big ones I need to check. Not much going on in these top boxes. As calm as these bees are, I think they've got a queen. But I'm not finding her yet. Nothing yet. Still nothing. Alright, I can see that next frame is all food stores. We're going to have to go down a box. Oh, that wasn't good. That'll get them riled up. And another one, man. I gave them empty frames to dry out and they just picked the wax off the comb, off the foundation. Well, if she's here, she can't lay in the bottom box. It's all full of bee bread. Well, the first colony I thought they were queenless because they were agitated and running all over the place. This colony I think has a queen because they're nice and calm. Looks like I'm going to be wrong both times. I don't see anything. I haven't seen a virgin running around. Of course, those are pretty hard to spot. Well, I wanted to do a mite wash on this hive, but knowing if I've got a queen or if she's running around here somewhere. If I've got a virgin or what. I think it's best we don't even attempt that. I still can't believe, as calm as these bees are, that I don't have a queen in here. Oh, I do have a queen. She's right here. She's a darkie. Those dark ones are hard to find. All right. Push this back together. Okay, there's my bees. I just shook off those frames I pulled out. And these bees are the ones that they came out of the brood nest area and they're not flying. So they're going to be younger nurse bees. And that's exactly what I want for my mite check. I need a little bit of soapy water here. I'm just gonna tap these ladies down. Give me a nice half cup. In there they go. Now the rest of these can go right back in the hive. Here's my half a cup of bees. Get them mixed up good. Give them a good swirl. And I'm going to let them set for a minute while I check this other hive. And let's see what they've done. These ladies seem fairly calm. Not much activity up here in this box. We've got incoming nectar. See fresh nectar in those cells. There's a little bit of something out there. Okay, nothing yet. Guess we're gonna have to go down a box and see what we've got. I may have to find some empty comb to swap out in here, because she hasn't got much room to lay. I have way more bees down here in the bottom box, though. Still nothing. Man, just not seeing anything. Well, don't think I have a queen. I don't think I have a queen unless she's crawling around on the box. I think what I'm going to do is sneak into one of these other hives that I know has a queen. There's plenty of bees here and I still have time. So let's take a little gander here to one of these other little nooks and see if I can find a frame of eggs that I can steal. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to steal a frame from a colony that's got a queen and just some larvae. I've got just a few larvae down here in the cells, young larvae, and I'm going to notch a frame. What I mean by notching is let's see if I can get this where you can see this. I have gone in and tore down the cell walls the bottom of the cell walls right below some eggs. There's not hardly any larvae on here. Let's see if I can find some on this other side. Nope. Just a few eggs. And in this case, eggs may work just fine. You can see, if I can hold it still, I've tore down the cell wall right below a row of eggs. I would prefer to do it with larvae, but right here. Now that gives the bees a chance to say, hey, we don't have a queen, and we need to make one, and it gives them a resource to make a queen. If these bees are truly queenless, they'll make a new queen. If they're not queenless, if they think they've got a queen, they'll ignore them and just leave them alone. And they'll actually just repair the cells and put everything back. Now I'm going to put that frame that I've notched up in the next box just to make it easier for me to find, and I don't have to go clear down the bottom next time. So I'm going to take a frame from up here, kind of in the middle. And preferably something with some good pollen resource on it. Maybe not that one. I know these guys have got plenty of pollen. Well, not much, but I'll have to do it. Now I'm going to take that notched frame, put it right down in here in the middle, and we can just slide this one in too. Now, if they need to raise a queen, they'll raise one. If they don't, they'll just leave those cells alone, and hopefully the queen will show up the next time I come. Now, it's possible this queen's here, but she's up in these upper boxes. Got through the queen excluder, and that's totally possible. Okay, so I've now checked these 12 hives, and they all have a queen, except for maybe this one on the end. Pull out my mite wash. Let's see what I've got here. Yep, I'm counting 2 mites. Two mites and 300 bees, so we're still below 1%, but it's 2 mites that I don't want. We'll take that until we get until I pull my honey here in a couple of weeks, and then we'll work on treatments. Let's go to the next yard. I just got finished going through this yard, and I have 7 bigger colonies, and then I had 6 nooks that I made here. 2 of the nooks did not have queens, and 2 of the bigger colonies I couldn't find queens. They acted like they still had a queen, but I couldn't find any queen and I couldn't find any eggs, so I'm not sure whether they did or not. So what I did is I went to a couple of the hives that did have queens, and again notched a frame and dropped it in these two bigger hives that I'm not sure whether they've got a queen or not. If they've got a queen, they'll ignore those notched frames. If they don't, they'll start making a queen cell out of them. There's still enough time to get a new queen made and up and running, but if this next one doesn't take, then I'll use the nooks to requeen these production hives. As far as honey, yeah, a couple of the boxes, one of the boxes is probably full, the other one's kind of half full, and the third one on most of these is pretty well empty. So there's a little more honey in this yard. I am seeing some nectar come in, which surprises me. We've been super hot, high 90s every day, and then every afternoon we've been getting a little dry thunderstorm come through. No moisture to speak of, just a few drops of rain, and that's all we ever get. But other than that, we're just going through the hives, and so far they're looking pretty good. And when I get done, we'll have a final count. One of these times I'm going to figure out this camera and microphone. I think this is about the fourth time I've tried to record this, so if I skip something, I probably think I've already said it, but managed to get through all of my hives and check them all for queens. I had 59 hives, and I had 8 of them that were dead outs. Just the queens didn't come back, or they didn't emerge, or they didn't get mated, or whatever. And that's about where I kind of expected it to be. It's right around 7, 8, 9, somewhere there. And then I have 3 that had queen cells, so they didn't like the queen cell I gave them and decided to raise their own, so I just let them. We'll see how they do. A couple of them didn't look that great, so I'm not sure that there'll be anything worth keeping, but we'll see. We'll just let them do their thing. And then I had 5 more that didn't have a queen, but I wasn't sure. They acted like they were queen right. They were calm, and just I wasn't sure. I couldn't find a queen, and I couldn't find eggs. So what I did is I went to a queen right hive and pulled a frame of eggs and larvae and dropped, and then notched them. I cut the cell wall down right below the eggs and larvae and dropped those in those 5 hives. Hopefully they'll start queen cells on them. The hives are big enough that they can easily requeen themselves. And I think I've got enough time I can get away with it. If not, then I'll just use one of my nooks and we'll combine another. That leaves about 41 that have successfully requeened themselves this year. I have 1 hive that has a 22 queen and another hive that has a 23 queen. I somehow missed them along the way. I don't know what I did. That's probably where my extra queen cell came from. I missed one of those hives that I thought I'd requeen. The wind's kicking up. If you can't tell, we're getting a little thunderstorm come through. We get lots of wind and no rain out of these, but the bees aren't very happy when they come through, so I had to kind of hurry and just get through them. And so I didn't get to record everything I wanted to. Hopefully you're having a good season. This whole requeen process went just about as I expected. I was hoping for a little better, but seems to be just about what I was expecting. And not too bad. The queens that have successfully mated and come back and started, they're looking really good. So hopefully we can get them set and get them ready for winter. I'll probably be pulling my honey, well, I don't know, in the next 3 weeks probably. By the middle of August, I usually like to pull my honey, so we'll give them a little bit longer. I could see some nectar coming in, not tons, but some. Hopefully, some farmers not cut his alfalfa. I like it when they do that. Anyway, thanks for following along. Hope you're having a great bee season.